I'm Jared Haynes, and this is Rogue Outdoors. Today I want to talk to you about the Black Widow PMA 3-piece takedown recurve bow and give you my opinion on it. Oh baby, that's beautiful. Before we go outside and shoot this bow, I want to talk about a few of the specifications on it, the build, the way that you see it right here, and then a little bit about the price. Let's go ahead and start out with those specifications on this bow. So Black Widow makes 3 different takedown recurves. The PMA is the longest and most forgiving riser option out of those 3. So I have this in 60 inches overall right here, 40 pounds at 28 inches of draw. The PMA riser from end to end on the riser is going to be 18 inches, and then you're gonna have a 5-inch sight window right here. Now they offer quite a few different grip styles. This is the low standard, which I really like because it gets your hand kind of into the bow and your wrist doesn't feel as bent back when you're shooting. But there's many other options, and they have a video I'll show up here talking about that straight from Black Widow themselves. Now the takedown style on this riser, you have the main riser portion, and then on the back, you have these 2 brass bolts right here. Those will come out and the limbs are hooked into the back of the riser right here. That creates a really forgiving shot with the riser length and combination. So I really like the PMA setup compared to the others for the way that I shoot. Now, before we head out to the range, I want to talk about the wood material used on this bow, as well as the price. So you're looking at Macassar ebony and myrtle burl wood that's on here. I think it gives a very beautiful contrast. You've got the spliced veneers up here, which really just adds to the progression of the limb as you come from the top section down and then into the riser. And then you have the red glass like pinstriping that's in there. The way Black Widow puts these bows together is an absolute piece of artwork. Now that leads into the price. You're gonna be close to $1,900 for this Black Widow 3-piece. It's an exotic series due to the wood. So this whole build out the door is definitely not going to be cheap. However, you get what you pay for, not only in performance, which you're about to see in just a second out on the range, but in the looks. These bows are an absolute piece of artwork that you would hang on the wall and look at, but you also get the fun side of being able to take that piece of art and shoot it and play with it and make memories with it as well, instead of just something that hangs on the wall. So if you want an overall recommendation of Black Widow in general, their bows are worth the money. They make great products. If you're looking at a really quick upfront answer to should you buy a PMA, the answer is yes. It is a great bow and a great value for what you're paying for. So let's go ahead and head out to the range now, and I'm gonna throw some arrows and we'll talk a little bit about the draw cycle and the feel, a little bit more of what kind of arrows this shoots, and then we'll come back and we'll wrap the video up. We're at 16 yards and I'm gonna shoot 5 different arrows, and I wanna show you how forgiving the PMA is. So the first arrow that we'll shoot is gonna be a 500 grain Hunter standard shaft with 125 up front. This guy's cut down to about 28 inches. Then we're gonna go a full length 400 spine Cabela's standard shaft with a 125, and then a full length 400 but with a 175 up front. And then we have 2 Axis arrows right here. These ones are gonna be in a 5 and a 600 spine. And then this one's got the 100 grain brass insert. This one has a standard hit inside of it. So I wanna shoot all these at 16 yards, back to back to back, and let you see just how forgiving and how many arrows you can tune for the PMA. This is the 400 spine standard shaft full length with the 175 up front. Now I do want you to see my point of aim, because the arrow lengths are going to be a little bit different. So I'll be a little bit around the bullseye because each one is going to be different. But I want you to listen to the lack of sound, just the thump when you shoot the PMA. So get back to full draw, get on here. Just a really quick thud and it's done. There's not extra string vibration, which is awesome. And the riser, because it's a heavier riser, shoots amazing. Let's try the next one right here, which is gonna be the full length with a 125. See if I can put that down there. Super smooth draw, get to anchor, pull, pull, pull through. Just a tiny bit high on that one, but you can see, same thing, just thud, no sound. Now I'm gonna be quiet on this one and let you just hear the bow, so dead in hand. Just an amazing accomplishment what they've done for being able to get this thing to stop. Now I do have 2 merino wool balls, bottom and top on here. Those do add a ton to the stopping of this string and the dispersion of the vibration and noise. Let's get our last 2 shots down there and then we'll go down and close this video out. Last thing I want to talk about, besides the grip angle, which I mentioned earlier, it's a low standard, so my wrist is at a slight forward position, which is awesome because I've sprained my wrist in the past, so if I'm at a really steep angle, that becomes hard for me to shoot a bunch of repetition. So that is a major thing. And then the draw cycle on this, you know, people talk about the draw cycle on a compound bow. Well, the draw cycle on a traditional bow is just as, if not more important, in my opinion, the way the weight stacks up. And what I would most easily say is 40 pounds on a PMA feels like 46-ish pounds on most other traditional bows. Got that one thrown down there, and then let's go ahead and throw one last arrow. We're gonna shoot that deer over there, get this draw cycle nice and smooth, pull back into the shot. That's a dead deer over there. Let's go ahead and head up, look at the target, and sum this video up. The Black Widow PMA, whether you get it in the exotic wood with the split veneers, or you just get it in a standard model, which can save you a decent amount of money, is one of my favorite recurve bows that I've ever shot. It is a little bit heavier than a one piece, obviously. Having that takedown, you've got extra metal and stuff in there. And then just the riser design in general is a little bit heavier weight, but there's give and takes with that. It sits steady in the hand. It is an amazing shooter. Like I said, I'm able to shoot all sorts of different arrows, different arrow lengths, weights, all sorts of combinations, and get really good flight and get an accurate group. Obviously there's a little bit of height dispersion right here, but if I shoot the same length, that would go away because I'd know exactly where my point is supposed to be on at, each given arrow. The price, when we're talking that 1900 down to somewhere around like 15, if you're not going with the exotic woods, is easily something I would say is justifiable. This is a once in a lifetime kind of bow. You get this and it's going to last you forever. They hold their value extremely well. So if you ever do decide to sell it, try different bows, that you're going to be able to get a large amount back out of what you paid. Although I guarantee you, if you get yourself a PMA, you are not going to be in a rush to try and sell it. The thing shoots phenomenal. And the last thing that I'll touch on with the bow and my recommendation is, like I said, as we were just shooting, that draw cycle is amazing. It does not stack up. It feels lighter than most other bows at its comparable weight. And so because of that, I think it is a great option for all archers to consider. I hope you like this quick review on the Black Widow PMA. If you did, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel for more content like this coming out soon. Thank you for watching.